Okay, so our next topic that we're going to talk about is restaurant operations. So I think this is the one that maybe most people and most students are familiar with because we get to see it when we go out to eat. You know, we see the managers, the servers, we see kind of this beautiful dance of a restaurant humming and flowing. But I know that doesn't happen automatically. There's a lot that goes into making a restaurant operation tick. So to help us kind of walk us through what all's behind the scenes, we have Ryan Smith with Specialty Restaurants. So Ryan, take it away. Tell us what you do, and we'll dive into restaurant operations.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Aaron. Restaurant operations. I'm a vice president of food and beverage for Specialty Restaurant Corporation. We have 16 restaurants, primarily in California and in Florida. We have about 1,800 employees, ranging all the way from, dishwashers and R&M and janitorial staff to, executive team members and general managers and marketing department and human resources and, everything that we need to keep the restaurants humming. But restaurant operations, it's definitely a labor of love and passion in wanting to create experiences for not just our guests, but our team members and our communities that we operate in within inside. And so for me, a big part of restaurant operations is being consistent. Actually, let me back up. Before that, you have to have a vision of what your business is going to be and what it's going to do and what it's going to represent. So I always have to start with the vision, and that's kind of our North Star and our filter through all of the things that we do and the actions that we take and the amount of staff that we have and the food menu items that make their way on the menus or beverage menu items. So it's really establishing the vision of the operation, and then inside of that, for the operational piece, you have a general manager, an executive chef, or director of catering sales, and those are kind of, the strategists of your business in that facility. And their job is to really hold the line on that vision and the expectations and standards. And then it's incredibly important for them to build a brigade system underneath of them, so people are very kind of laser focused and this is my piece of the pie that I really control, that I can really make a huge impact on, and these are the expectations for it. And if everybody's doing that on their piece of the business, then me as now a beverage manager, now I need to find my lead mixologists and my somms and my people who are passionate on even a more granular level. And then you identify the up and coming people behind that. So as a company, I think that we do a very, very good job of promoting from within. And I know a lot of people say that, but I think it's incredibly important to reinvest and build people that already know your concept, people that already have shown that they really believe in the company that they work for. So we spend a lot of time in training and development of those individuals. Our corporate chef for the whole company, he started as a banquet chef with us about 12 years ago. Almost all of our regional managers started as an assistant manager all the way, up to a regional. So, we really do believe from promoting from within. And I think that lends itself to keeping consistency in the operation.
And I want to touch on the brigade system because I remember I was a Pro Start student when I was in high school, and I remember reading about Escoffier and his kitchen brigade system, and it revolutionized restaurants. And I was such a hospitality nerd that I really loved reading about that. So can you, what exactly is the brigade system, kind of like the org chart of a restaurant, and why is that important to keeping consistency or the structure? Why brigade?
Yeah. So the org chart of a restaurant is different by concept, and it's going to be different by ownership. And if you have a chef-driven concept, sometimes when you're interviewing general managers, generally the general manager is the helm of the business, right? But in some concepts, you find when you interact with them, the chef kind of really isn't in charge of all their things. They don't really report to the general manager. The general manager is more in charge of the front of house. We run our restaurants where the general manager needs to look, feel, and behave like they're the proprietor of the business. So they're in charge of all of those different things. So you have the general manager of the facility. Then you have your director of catering sales. We have a large event component in our company. So That person is in charge of, booking all the weddings, the corporate functions, the mixers, all that kind of stuff that we do inside of our facilities. Then you have a director of special event operations, which is less title would be like an easier title would be banquet manager, but they run all the operations from the banquet side of the business. And then we have an executive chef, and that executive chef is in control of both sides of the culinary side. We have the a la carte dining, and then we have the banquet dining. So all those positions report up to the general manager. Now underneath that, to have success, you have to have a brigade system. So you can't have the executive chef that's buzzing around to the expo line and then going to banquet.
Yeah, you
putting
have
out
like
fire.
one poor server who has like 7 bosses and they don't know what the heck is happening. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure. So, then then the culinary side, they have their chef de cuisines, executive sous chefs, and then their sous chefs. So, the executive sous chef reports to the chef de cuisine, the sous chefs report to the executive sous chef. And then inside of that, then we have leads. Now you have, Ryan and Aaron are the best broiler cooks, the best grill cooks. And we really take pride in our steaks and what we put out there. And we own that. Now we own our station and our piece of that. And, we get empowered. So, the sous chefs are going to work with us, and, maybe we'll be a key holder employee one day, or like, hey, I'm going to start working with Aaron on, I'm going to teach you how to place orders for proteins and things like that. So that we continue that buy-in and that development of that little piece of the kitchen. And
so you grow a little bit as your skills grow, then you get a little bit higher up in the brigade, and your purview or your overview is a little larger.
Absolutely. And in a large operation, and even in small ones, but you can't do it all yourself. So it's incredibly important to delegate responsibilities, inspect what you expect, and then follow up. But I feel like the biggest trip up in restaurant operations is people not understanding they have to have a brigade. They have to delegate responsibility of ownership of even something small, like you have a manager at the host stand that reports to the AGM, and then to the general manager. But who are the host stand leads, and what are they really in charge of? Like Aaron's in charge of large party bookings, and Ryan is a whiz on open table. So he does all of our plottings for when we're coming into service. You can't do that without real fine-tuned experts on each piece of your business. So that's where it starts, and then it all rolls up from there.
That's amazing. Now, I always think about restaurant operations as also putting out fires. Like, these are the boots on the ground. This is where everything's happening. So yeah, there could be strategy happening in marketing or finance that are maybe a bit more removed from the day-to-day operations. So can you talk about kind of managing the chaos of a restaurant, which it is. And when it goes really well, it's humming, right? But how do you manage things that are unexpected, a shipment not coming in, people calling off of work, a guest being unhappy? What does that take?
Sure. I mean, you definitely have to be tenacious. I think the most important piece is being decisive. And if I'm not the person that is running the shift, I need to empower that individual who's going to need to be there that puts out the fires, to make decisions, and then communicate. I can empower them to do that, and that they have to do it.
Yeah.
Indecisiveness when stuff's going down really kills the operation. You see that when a restaurant manager may be understaffed, there's a wait at the door, and they don't feel that they're empowered to slow down their books or close their books, or hey, we're 86ing things, let's figure out a limited menu, or I've got a bunch of call-offs in the back of the house, I can't pull off this whole menu. Well, do we want to run a shift where we run 45-minute ticket times, or do we want to shrink our menu coming into service and still have 15-20-minute ticket times, but we may only have 70% of our menu? I'd rather have that experience than wait an hour for my food. So it's really empowering the restaurant management staff to be decisive, and that it's okay. But my caveat with that, and when you make a decision, because when you're put in jeopardy in a restaurant, we don't do it again next Saturday. We don't do it again.
It doesn't become the norm.
It doesn't become the norm. So that
you learn from it, you prepare, and you get better.
Absolutely. We can't wipe our brow off at the end of the shift and be like, wow, that was horrible. And then we do it again next Saturday. That doesn't fly. So it's now having a post shift and identifying where things went wrong, how we weren't strategic enough, how we didn't work our plan the right way, so that we can make that modification real time for tomorrow. And I don't want to make it for next Saturday. I want to make it for tomorrow on the next shift that we're working. So we've got the items back on. We've got the orders. We've got the right staffing levels. Because I think too many times it's like, oh, we'll wait till the Friday meeting and we'll, figure out everything bad that happened Tuesday and Monday. It's like, no, we need to regroup right now. I need everybody on the phone. Let's figure this thing out, so that we can run a successful shift the next day. But I really think being decisive and as leadership, empowering people to make decisions, and then in holding them to the line. Like, you got to make decisions. It's not just, we don't just go down in the ship. There's reasons.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up, but you threw in a lot of restaurant terminology, and I caught a few of them. So I'll hit you with them quick fire. So what is 86?
86. Oh, when we don't have the item, it's 86. It's gone.
It's off the menu.
Off the menu.
What are ticket times?
Ticket times are the time from it's rang into the POS. Well, it's really time from the order that is taken from the customer, to when it's delivered to the table. So you have ticket time expectations where appetizers should take so long, entrees should take so long, desserts, cocktails, etc.
Great. So like a 45-minute ticket time that you're mentioning, not acceptable because no one wants to wait 45 minutes just drinking water, hanging out at their table.
No, I showed up to your restaurant because I'm hungry, not hungry an hour from now. Yeah.
Perfect. Any other cool restaurant terminology you want to drop on us? I put you on the spot.
Cool restaurant terminology.
What's a cover? Tell me what a cover is.
Cover is a person coming into the building.
So when you say I have
300 covers. Yeah, 300 covers a night. It means I have 300 guests that are already in open table, or we're expecting through walk-ins. That's what we call covers.
What about all day?
All day.
I got all day.
That's a good term. Yeah, for sure. When you're either behind the bar or you're in the kitchen, and you've got filet, you've got a huge menu, but the chef's calling out to double check, that the grill cook knows, hey, you've got 4 medium rare steaks all day right now. And they're like, oh shoot, I only have 3 on the grill. So giving that all day, all day, and that parroting back to your cooks, really saves them, because they may have not heard something. They're in the weeds, they're doing things, and oh shoot, I only have 6 salmon down, but I need 10. So all day numbers are really important through the operation.
Okay, last one. In the weeds.
You're spinning. Everything's going crazy. You're in the thick of it, and you need to ask for help if you're in the weeds. Somebody can help you, but that just means you're in the thick of it, and you're trying to navigate and stay above water, whether that be you're in the back of the house, whether you're taking orders. But if you feel that you're using that term, I'm in the weeds, or someone's in the weeds, you need some help, or go help that person. Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, thanks for that quick fire round. So brigade system, be decisive, be strategic. Don't let mistakes happen multiple times, fix it. And you hit us with a lot of terminology. So thanks, Ryan.
You got it.
We're ready to go run a restaurant.
Come on over. We're always hiring. Let's go.
I love it.